Eric, it's good to be here at Summerhill Estate Winery, at your home, actually.
Yeah, well, welcome, Gary, once again.
Thanks,
I'm glad you can make it up. As you see, we got fall and the hops are hanging.
It's beautiful.
The vineyards are laden with a full crop of
Another
Riesling.
Indian summer. Every time I come up here with producing this show, I think we bring this incredible weather. I just seem to be so lucky. It's
Well, we're the northernmost desert viticultural region in the world, and being so, we have Indian summers, and it's beautiful. You know, no rain, the crop is ripening beautifully.
Man, I mean, this is October, and I'm hot. It's very warm. It's October. It's a very busy time for you. I know the next couple of weeks is going to be crazy for you, and we're here at your
crazy.
Is crazy for you, and we're here at your home, and you live at the winery, which is beautiful. I mean, this location, the vineyards, the lake, you know, this weather, but it's like living in your office, isn't it? I mean,
well, yeah, you never get away from it. The only time I ever get away from it is when I go to Vancouver or something, because you always think, oh, that's going to be done, and oh, that's going to be done, and oh, is that one fermenting too hot? Then you better go have a look. And
whenever you come to Vancouver, you change so much. You're just so calm and relaxed, and whenever you're here, you're just everything's it's such a frenzy. But anyway, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out and talking about your wine, because I'm excited about this wine. It's a I think world class, in my opinion, a world class sparkling method champagne was. Tell us a little bit about it. I know it's a Riesling, but
it's 100% Riesling, and it's really an analogy of the different Johannesburg Riesling from the valley. We have our own. We have 38 acres of grapes here, but we also buy a little bit from different vineyards in the valley.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really an analogy of Johannesburg Riesling.
And that's a big part of what you do as a vintner is blending and tasting.
Yeah, so it's 100% Riesling, but in that sense, it's a cuvee too.
Yes, because it comes from different vineyards. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, of course, different vineyards are going to produce grapes that are a little bit more acidic, a little bit fruitier, or whatever.
The different soils too play a big role.
Of course,
the different soils and with a different light, they really bring out a very complicated and well-balanced champagne. You must be very excited to be at this place at this time. You studied in Germany. You were born here in British Columbia. In Vernon, yeah.
You studied in Germany for 6 years?
8 years.
8 years?
Yeah, I did a 3-year apprenticeship in winemaking and grape growing, and then I studied another 5 years at Geisenheim.
You started very young.
Oh, 21.
21? Yeah, wow. That's great. So you had a focus at a young age. You knew what you wanted to do.
Well, at 19, I knew what I wanted to do. I just couldn't get a position yet. It took me 2 years just to get an apprenticeship position, and it ended up being in Germany instead of France, but that was okay.
Yeah, and you came back here, and you're working with your partner, Stephen Sipes.
Yeah, Stephen and Wendy Sipes.
Stephen and Wendy.
And it's worked out really great. They give me the artistic freedom as such to develop a BC wine instead of saying, oh, you got to make a French this or a Californian style that.
In a different style, or rather in a style of another appellation besides, you know.
Yeah, besides
BC.
The Okanagan has the most beautiful grapes, and you know, that's our secret. That's our, you know. The grapes here can produce such beautiful wines if people would just let them get ripe and just make them pure wine. I'm really excited about it because, like I said, they give me the artistic freedom, they believe in me, and I believe in them, and we have a really great
What are some of the differences in this champagne method wine compared to maybe a French or an Italian wine?
Okay, this, for example, was 100% BC grapes, and it being 100% BC grapes, that's something, first of all, no one else has.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
but it's also a Riesling, and I don't recall ever trying a Riesling wine made in this fashion before.
The Riesling in Germany you'll find Riesling made in a similar fashion, but they don't make them with the same quality wines I do. See, I get the grapes in, and I say when to pick, and right from, you know, in the spring, you know, when the sprays go on, when they don't go on. Like, we don't have any herbicides or pesticides on any of our grapes, and I don't use sulfur also in the wine making process at all, so with the champagne. And all those things I couldn't do if I was in Europe, just because the weather's different. You know, there's a lot more pressure from pests and things like that.
Let's talk a little bit about this area, the Okanagan, weather-wise, and why that's very good for these grapes.
Well, we're the northernmost viticultural desert in the world.
That's quite a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. But really, the northernmost desert, viticulturally used as such, you know, we only have 240 millimeters of rain per average per year, which is nothing. You know, it barely sustains couch grass and sagebrush.
Which is great because that means that
well, it means
you can control the amount of water that you.
Yeah, it means we get to play God in a little way.
In a little way, yeah.
In a little way.
God does the sunshine and the earth and all that.
Yeah,
and
we get to turn on the water or turn it off.
That's right, because other wine growing regions perhaps would get a lot of rain, and you can't take the water out of the grapes. You can put it in, but you can't take it out. And the more water the grapes retain, of course, that's going to take away from its maturing, the fruit.
Yeah, the most important part is actually right now when the grapes are ripe and when you know they're on the vines and they're concentrating right now their flavors and everything. If it rained now, it would be terrible. You know, the berries would swell up. You get this watery flavors and everything, and that would be a disaster.
And I noticed the vines over here. On this slope.
Oh, that's my late.
This over here?
Well, this is Riesling over here, and this is where I make my late harvest from. It's a special. There's a special line of chalk going through it with a little bit of clay, and it's just excellent. The grapes ripen a lot earlier, and they're just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tastes.
They're your children.
My children, yeah.
Well,
babies.
Eric, thanks for taking a very busy time out of the year to talk to us for a bit and away from your children, your babies. And we'll let you get back to it. And thanks again. Listen, we're going to...
Thanks for dropping by, Gary.
Thanks, Eric. We're going to go back to Vancouver and drink more of your wine.
Oh, well, I hope so. Cheers.
Cheers.